Good afternoon, my flavor lovers, and welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. How is everybody doing today? I hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to make something that's very simple, very popular, and well loved by all kids in every North Indian family. It's none other than Rajma. Okay, so Rajma Chawal, which is considered to be the soul food by many kids, is what we're going to make today. But instead of starting with, hello Tim, hello Chana. First things first, put your hair up in a bun so that my hair does not fall in the food. I'm not making it from dry beans. I am going to make it from canned beans just so that you'll be able to see how achievable and easy breezy this is. So I'm using pinto beans. These are from Aldi or Walmart. I don't know where they're from, but I'm using pinto beans. And I've drained the liquid and rinsed it out. I don't like that slimy thing that happens. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to at least position it so that you'll be able to see that instead of seeing me. Good afternoon for everybody that is tuning in. Let me know if the camera angles are okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can see everything really well. I'm putting in 4 cloves of garlic and a big hunk of ginger. Now in this curry, the ginger is supposed to be more pronounced than the garlic. At least that's how my mom makes it. But of course, with every family, there are always variations in a certain recipe. So you can tweak it to your taste. The other pantry ingredient that we are going to use today is diced tomatoes. We all have a can of tomatoes in our fridge, right? The only fresh thing that we're going to use is ginger, garlic, onions, and cilantro. Other than that, everything is from pantry ingredients. So I'm just going to give this a quick blitz. You can also grate it or pound it on a mortar or pestle, whatever you have. Sorry about the noise. Just a little rough chop is great. I love the texture of ginger and garlic in my mouth. I hated that as a child, but now I absolutely love it. So the ginger is absolutely fragrant. It's broken down into smaller little pieces. And we are going to get this process started right now. Again, I'm cooking without a stove, so this is instant pot cooking, but whatever I'm doing here, you can absolutely do the same thing on your stovetop. Follow the same technique, follow the same things for your pressure cooker or stovetop, and it'll be fine. So typically I start this with adding cumin seeds, but today I don't have any cumin seeds. I will be using cumin powder instead. When you use powdered spices instead of whole spices, you don't add it to the hot oil because they burn. You will add it at a much later stage of the cooking process. Good afternoon, Nalini. How are you today? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so we are going to start out with giving this a gentle saute. And immediately, as soon as it hits the hot oil, it's superbly aromatic. Just smells beautiful in here. I'm going to crack open my window just a little bit. Otherwise, my hair, my clothes, everything will be smelling of ginger and garlic, and I will have to shower again before I go to work. Okay, so we are just going to give this a gentle saute. The next thing coming up, we don't have to burn the garlic and ginger, just sauteing it a little bit. We're going to add in, these are 2 white onions that I have chopped. These are small to medium-sized white onions that I've chopped and put in. Now, a lot of times people ask me, what kind of onion should we use for what kind of curry, right? Every time you use brown onions and you caramelize the heck out of them, your gravy, your curry is going to turn out looking black. No matter how much turmeric you add, your curry is going to have a really dark brown color. Thank you, Nalini. I appreciate that. That's sweet. If I'm bringing entertainment to you, I'm happy about that. Are you guys able to see it? Yeah, okay. Okay, so we are going to continue to caramelize these onions. We have to make them pinkish brown, but not dark brown. Okay, I'm going to add some cilantro stems at this point to infuse the flavor in here. I will also add some cloves. These are whole cloves. I will add about 2 to 3. So I know that I have no cinnamon sticks at home, and I have no, what was the other thing that I said? Cumin seeds. These are the things that I have to refill. Okay, so while this is sauteing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use these diced onions and give them a good blitz so that they will become the puree. Now the combination of the caramelized onions to the puree of the tomatoes is what will make the base of this curry. Let me see if I can raise this camera a little bit so you'll get a better view. Let's try this. Is this a better view? Let me know in the comments below if you prefer this so that you can actually see what's happening inside the god dang pot instead of guessing. Okay, I think you can see much better now. Hello, Sarla. How are you, my love? Okay, so this is the Instapot where all the action is happening. I'm going to scoot some things over so that I can also bring my blender, etc. within the frame. And you can pretty much see everything. If you were with me on the live video yesterday where we made the keema masala, the keema matar, we actually made it in another electric cooktop, which was this. So I'm actually really enjoying getting mileage out of my housekeeper's cleaning this week because I'm not using the stove for pretty much anything. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use the same blender. No need to rinse it out. All it has is the ginger and the garlic, and that's totally fine. You're going to take these tomatoes. I think I overfilled it. What else? Everybody will live, I think. Nobody's gonna die. Death is the final frontier, and if nobody's dying from eating your food, honey, you are fine. Just fine, like old wine. Am I too goofy today? I don't know. Maybe. 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 Just maybe. Let me know if you can't see anything, okay? And if you want to see my face, then let me know that too. I'll just stick my head in and say hi. And then I'll go back to working. Quietly. Share this video, please, so that your friends and family can also pop in. And we can all cook together. So I usually make dinner at around this time. I don't make lunch, I make dinner. Okay, so just a few quick blitzes to the tomatoes. And this is what you have. It's looking pretty good, I would say. Okay, I'm gonna keep sauteing this. So this is the longest part of the procedure of making Rajma Masala. Also, if you're, okay, let me give you a very, very interesting answer to a question that I get asked a lot. So as you all know, I am half Punjabi and half Bengali. So I'm from the northern part of India. That's where I grew up. Oh, what? Okay. That's where I grew up. Alright. Now, a lot of people ask me, what is the difference between Chana Masala and Rajma Masala? Like if onions and tomatoes and everything else going in is the same, what is the difference? So, I'm going to unleash that secret today. The secret between Chana Masala and Rajma Masala is, in Chana Masala, there is more onion and less tomato. In Rajma Masala, there is more tomato and less onion. So for all the people who are not Punjabi or not North Indian, but definitely want to have that authentic taste of what a North Indian Rajma Masala or Chana Masala tastes like, just remember, the technique is very similar, the ingredients are very similar, but when you make Rajma Masala, the proportion of, oh, thank you. That's actually a dupatta that I bought from somebody. She's in Texas or somewhere. And I just liked her I just liked her Instagram feed and I followed it and I bought it from there. It's really, really festive. It's very pretty. And I was doing a photo shoot, so I said, hey, you know what, let me just put it out there. So that's why I'm using it. If you need the link, Nalini, let me know. I'll share the link with you so you can see what all she has. She has some really beautiful handmade Indian ethnic stuff. Okay, so this is going to continue to do its thing, right? Like I was saying, the difference between Chana Masala and Rajma Masala is in Chana Masala, the proportion of onions is greater than the tomatoes. In Rajma Masala, the proportion of tomatoes is greater than the onions, okay? So a lot of people also like to add potatoes to their Rajma curry or their Chana. You can if you want to. I've stopped using potatoes in anything and everything, so I just use them very sparingly unless I know that there's a recipe that just cannot be made without it. I don't really use as much potato in my cooking anymore. And for those of you who've never had chana masala or have never made chana masala, head over to my website, queenscurrykitchen.com. There is a free chana masala recipe download that you can get from there. Go to the website, scroll down. You're going to see free chana masala download. Just click on that and it's an instant download. It's a very, very simple recipe that's made with minimal ingredients. I've literally taken my traditional recipe and ripped it of all the bells and whistles, and I've tried to create a recipe with just easily available supermarket and or pantry ingredients for the chana masala. Is it authentically an Indian, North Indian recipe? No. But is it the easiest one that you can use to break the ice and kind of get you out of that comfort level and also add one easy dish that you can cook any night of the week? Yes. Okay, so please give it a try, and if you haven't tried it, I would suggest please try to make it. It is from my book, The Vegan Indian Home, which is also available in hard copy and in soft copy on the website. Okay, so if you're not making friends with your chef, you're really missing out. Share this page. Follow us on social media, whether it's TikTok or Instagram. Help us to get the word out there and create easy Indian recipes for people who are pressed for time but definitely don't want to compromise on flavor. That's exactly what this entire brand is all about. Okay, now you can see the ginger and the garlic starts to brown way before the onions start to brown, so just stir constantly. Also remember, in an instant pot, if it's on sear mode, it's already at a certain temperature. It's not like a stovetop where you can increase or decrease the heat. So if you feel like you need to control the heat or you need to turn it down, either have a bottle of water handy or have like a kettle of hot water next to you so that you can keep adding the water to control the temperature or to cool it down. Or then get ready to add the next ingredient. Okay, so I'm going to give it a couple of more seconds. You can see it is pretty brown right now. We are not trying to burn the onions because we don't want that burnt flavor. We want that sweetness of the onions to still be intact. Okay, and I'm going to add just a little bit of water to cool down the pot. Anybody has any questions so far about what we're making, how it's going down? Definitely feel free to drop it in the chat below. All of these tomatoes go in. So it's literally a 28-ounce can of tomatoes and a 30-ounce can of beans. Okay, you can do the same thing with fresh tomatoes as well. Just make sure you blanch the tomatoes, remove the skin, and then puree them before you use it in your rajma recipe. Now, as soon as you add the tomato puree, all the temperature actually drops. So we have to wait for, again, to build it up. At this point, we're also going to go ahead and add some of our dry spices. I am going to add salt because, like I said, always, whenever you cook, as soon as you add the tomatoes, add the salt so that it'll draw out the moisture and help the tomatoes to cook quicker. I'm going to add some paprika. This is our Kashmiri red chili powder. It's more for color and less for, there is really no heat. This is coriander seed powder, which is dhania powder. This is the bomb herb that's going to take your rajma over the top. And it's dry fenugreek herbs, also called kasuri methi. Now, if you don't know where to find it, I do have it on my website. You can either buy an entire masala box loaded with all the spices, or you can buy the masala box just by itself without the spices. So head over to the website. All that information is on there. It's a stainless steel box that you can wash. It comes with its own little stainless steel spoon, and you actually then cover it like this. So what happens is that you don't have to take out the entire portion of your big jar of spices to cook. You just take out little portions, you finish them in 2 to 3 days, and then you refill it to cook some more. Okay, now at this one, I'm going to go ahead and add the cumin powder, which I never got a chance to add by way of seeds because I didn't have them today. Also, when I make any beans, I always like to add asafoetida or hing, which is great to control flatulence and also helps in digesting any of the beans or whole legumes. Always a good idea. I think that's also one of the reasons why this rajma is always very heavy on the ginger, because that too aids the digestion. If you're making this from fresh ginger that you're from fresh beans that you're going to soak overnight and then boil them, wash the beans, and you can do this with any kind of beans, black eye beans, pinto beans, black beans, red kidney beans. Add some turmeric. Whenever you want to make them from scratch, from dry beans, just go ahead, wash them a few times, soak them the night before, and then cook them in your pressure cooker. I'm just trying to grab some cilantro from my fridge. It's really sad looking. So what I'm going to do is, see how sad it's looking. Look, it's so sad looking. It's really poor thing. It's so sad. So I did have water at the end of it, but I will use some of the stems because my friends are here. They want some food. So I give these pigeons get some food, but I think, hello Aarti, welcome, welcome. Oh my God, where you been? Okay, so I think my pigeons know that I'm cooking food, but they don't eat Rajma Chawal. Okay, so this tempering is coming together beautifully. At this time, I'm also going to add 2 bay leaves. Done. And because I did not have cinnamon sticks, I'm going to add 1 pinch of cardamom, just a teeny tiny pinch. Ground cardamom, you can also use whole. But the thing with using whole spices is that you have to dig it out before you finish your cooking, before you serve the food. And then just a little bit of cinnamon powder. So in India, they call it long ilaichi dalchini. Long means cloves, ilaichi means cardamom, dalchini means cinnamon. Hello Jen, how are you? It's good to see you here. So we're going to keep sauteing this. As you can see, there's a lot of moisture coming out of, just reshift the focus. Because I tend to ramble and there's no end to it, but you won't be able to see anything. Okay, you guys, I know it's steaming up a lot, so you may not be able to see as much as I want you to see, but you can see after we added the salt, all the moisture from those tomatoes is getting drawn out, and we will continue to cook this down. The good thing is if you were doing this on your stovetop, it would splutter and create a mess on your stovetop. This, because it has such a good height, nothing really splutters out. Yesterday I made the keema mutter in this, and if you missed that video, definitely catch the replay on this page, or then head over to our YouTube channel where we have all the uploads of the videos that I do from Facebook. You can catch it there. It was indeed a very detailed video, and I kid you not, that keema was really, really delicious. We had it at the end of the day with fresh rotis, and it was just to die for. Okay. Now, just a quick tip for those of you who don't know how great cilantro stems are. Whenever you make any curries, especially if they're heavy on tomato, try to add some cilantro stems, and you'll see that even in Thai cooking or Indian cooking, there's a lot of chutneys, there's a lot of soup bases, curry bases that are made using cilantro root. And the reason is that's where the most aroma, oh, it smells so good in here. That's where the maximum aroma is contained. So the leaves really, yeah, they're for garnish and everything, but the actual flavor is in the stems. Also, when you're making a big pot of, let's say, broth or vegetable soup or chicken broth or any kind of broth or soup that you're making, add the cilantro stems. Just give them a pound and add the cilantro stems to your broth, and then when you roll it to a boil, you'll see that it'll be so nice and aromatic. Also, if you're trying to make like lemon coriander soup, which is a very popular soup in the Indo-Chinese, Indo-Thai genre, they always use coriander stems, cilantro stems. Cilantro is called coriander in India. So cilantro stems and roots, okay? Hello Bharti, hello Sunita ji, welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are making Rajma Masala today from pantry ingredients. Without using a stovetop, we are cooking in the Instant Pot. But whatever techniques I'm teaching you here, exactly that you can do at home on your stovetop without any problem. Now, one really crazy thing that my mom always does whenever she makes anything that's got a lot of tomatoes and it's acidic, she puts a couple of pinches of sugar. And you'll also see this in restaurants, like where they have dishes like dal makhni or malai kofta, things that have a lot of tomatoey tanginess or yogurt tanginess. There's always a little bit of sugar that is added to balance out the acidity. Even the best Italian marinara sauces have sugar in them to balance out the acidity of the tomatoes. Okay, so this is not yet fully cooked. We are going to continue to cook this more. And like I said, I started out with ginger and garlic, some onions which I browned, and then I put an entire can of, not an entire can actually, I would say, see, this is how much I did not use. So I've saved about 10 ounces of it. This is about an entire 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes from Aldi, and I used about 18 ounces from here. I'm also going to use store-bought canned beans, which are these, and I'm using pinto beans. You can also do the pink beans. They both taste really good when you make rajma from cans. This is what it tastes like. This is what it looks like. This is 30 ounces. I've drained it and rinsed it. Okay, so don't eat that slimy stuff that's already there. Now, if you're Jen and you don't eat garlic and you don't eat onions, a very simple way to make your Rajma Masala would be to put the cilantro stems and tomatoes in a blender and put green chilies if you eat green chilies, and then make it into a nice puree. Add oil to your pan, add some asafoetida, add cumin seeds, and then saute the tomatoes exactly like I'm sauteing over here. If you eat ginger, you can add ginger to the same thing. If you don't eat ginger, then you can absolutely skip that, okay? So yeah, we will continue to saute this, and I am going to have to, it smells incredible, like guys, I kid you not. I mean, I'm not saying it because I'm making it. I'm pretty much a little tired of eating my own food, but it smells really, really good because of the addition of the cilantro stems. And also when you make it in the winter time when tomatoes are not in season in America for us. If you live in India, tomatoes are in season in the winter and you don't get as much in the summer. In America, it's kind of like the opposite, right? So we don't get very good tomatoes in the winter time. So use your diced tomatoes and canned tomatoes, tomato puree. Tomato puree usually has a lot of vinegar and sugar, but diced tomatoes, these are organic. Let's see, and they have sea salt, okay? So let's see what are some of the other ingredients in this. Okay, organic tomatoes, organic tomato juice, sea salt, calcium chloride, citric acid. So this has some kind of a preservative, but it's still not so bad. Okay, but when you use like a tomato puree or a tomato paste, that's really highly concentrated, and it also has a lot of sugars, right? Okay, now you'll have to wait for the point of this curry to get to where the oil will actually separate from. Bring it right here. There's like so much steam. I feel bad that you guys are not able to see much. Okay, so you see how the color is building? And just a little while ago, I was talking about what is the difference between a Chana Masala tadka and a Rajma Masala. So a Chana Masala will have more onions and less tomatoes. And Rajma will have more tomatoes and less onions. And nobody tells you that secret unless you are a North Indian or a Punjabi. Okay, so trust me, I am Punjabi, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and remove these bay leaves only because I'm getting ready to do my next step. Okay, here. So we have what is called an immersion blender or a stick blender. Now if you want smooth curries or smooth gravies for whatever you're making, this is going to be your best friend, okay? I got this from Amazon. Yes, that is definitely a Punjabi secret, and I'm spilling all the beans. I'm not holding back any information. Because you'll probably wonder, you'll make it in the kitchen a few times and wonder like, why does it not taste like my grandmother's, or why does it not taste like my mother's? Because honey, nobody told you the secret. I'm spilling all the beans. Literally spilling the beans. Okay. So now you can make it and you can wow them and they'll be like, oh my God. Enna swad banaya. They'll say it in Punjabi, right? I know Supriya understands Punjabi. I don't know how many other people understand Punjabi out of the audience that is watching us. And please share this video so that more and more people can discover the love of flavorful food. It does not have to be time consuming. Like if I wasn't here talking to you, this would be done and I'd be out of here, baby. Out of here. Like I got places to go and people to see. Actually, no, I have a meeting at 2:30. And then I have to go to work at 4. So I'm just making everything I can before I hit the road. Yeah, I'm giving away all my secrets so that you can wow your family and your friends and your guests and whoever it is that you're trying to entertain. And they'll be like, oh my God, it tastes better than the restaurant. And then you know that whenever they get hungry, they are not going to go to the restaurant. They will call you, hello. Aji roti vich ki banaya hai? What's for dinner? And then you're like, okay, come over. Honestly, it's a really good feeling. I became an empty nester 3 years ago, and I really understood the value of having people gather at the dinner table, which is why as a chef and as a business owner, I always emphasize the importance of coming together. Yes, Tim, of course. Listen, honey, I'm ready when you are, okay? Whenever you want to get back on the plan, I'm ready to discuss your needs for food. Also, this week we had food that went out to somebody who is pre-diabetic. So I was able to do some swaps for her. Instead of rice, instead of the khichdi that was on the menu this week, they got other things that were friendly to their health condition. I have some people who are on an anti-inflammatory diet. I have some pescatarians who are on my meal plan. So there's all kinds of people with all kinds of dietary needs. I have a new mother who's on the diet, on the weekly meal plan. And I'm very happy to accommodate. I have actually someone who is on the breakfast and dinner plan. So he gets poha, he gets besan chilla, he gets oats ki kheer, he gets idlis, he gets uttapam, he gets all kinds of things in his breakfast package. Okay, so now you see it's superbly aromatic, and this tadka or tempering is now moving together as one clump. So it's very homogeneous right now. If you see, it's super homogeneous. I didn't add a whole lot of oil, but I think what I will do is I will add a little bit of water just to draw out some of the oils that I've put in, okay? And the best way to draw out oil from anything that you're cooking is to put a lid on it. When you just put a slight lid on something, the steam that then gets generated pulls out whatever oil you've used. So even if you've made something in your pan with a little bit of a cooking spray and you don't even want to ingest that much oil, just add a few droplets of water and cover your pan for a few seconds. It's going to immediately draw out all of the oil and then you can eat your food. Ideally, in the ideal world, it would be great if we didn't add any oil to our food because no oil is healthy oil. But when we have to, then those are the ways to do it. I'm going to add just a little bit of water and I'll tell you why. And I'll bring the focus right back down to the pot so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I know you're not here to see my face. You're actually here to learn something, right? I do have the face for radio. Thank you very much. I'm on radio. Okay. How did I say that with a straight face? Hello, Reena, my darling. So Reena is a phenomenal artist, painter. She makes a lot of Indian iconoclastic art, and she has the greenest thumbs. Like the kinds of plants that she grows in her house. Mwah. If I had that capability, then my mirchi plant would not be so sad. Let's see how sad this is. Yeah, it's very sad. Okay. Enough chit chat. Now is the time to get in there. You can see I've added the water and that too is now bubbling up. We are gonna go ahead and add some more of the tomatoey liquid from my can of tomatoes. And I'll tell you in a minute why I need all this liquid. Now, whenever you get your curry to a point where the oil droplets are visible on top, like you can see, there'll be little oil droplets. That's when you know your curry is ready for the next step. Okay, that's the secret. One more secret that I'm giving away today, okay? So don't undercook your curry, don't overcook it to the point of burning. It should really have a nice fragrance. It should have a rich, deep red color or an orange color depending on what kind of curry you're making. And the oil should be floating and skimming to the top. Okay, now we're gonna go in with our best friend, which is this stick blender. And because it needs the depth to work, I am going to tilt it a little bit. I'm gonna step back because I'm not trying to get burnt with this. Okay, so now this is your basic curry that you've made. And I kid you not, if you have time, maybe once a week, once in 2 weeks, once a month, make this in a large quantity and then freeze it in small Ziploc bags or ice cube trays so that when you have busy weeknights, you can literally put this curry cubes, you can put your chickpeas, you can put your rajma, or you can put your paneer, whatever vegetables you're making, just put everything and you can have your food ready in no time at all, okay? So see how smooth and creamy this is? Yeah. So restaurants usually at this stage, they'll add like a shit ton of heavy cream to make it nice and creamy. We don't do that, baby. Hello, Tage, where you been, girl? We are gonna go ahead and add all of our chickpeas. Okay. Yeah, now we're talking. So we needed that little bit of liquid because we have to emulsify everything. We have to get in there with the immersion blender and look at that. How creamy is that? And it's not even fully done yet, right? So it's super creamy. It looks really delicious. Now we need some water to fill this thing. You'll notice I haven't added any garam masala. I haven't added any unnecessary bullshit to my food. If I feel like garam masala, I'll add it just before eating. But right now, I ain't feeling it. I'm gonna add back the 2 bay leaves that I took out. The reason I took out the bay leaf before I put in the stick blender was that I didn't want the bay leaf to get crushed. And also eating shards of bay leaves can be very unhealthy for your gut. So whenever you can, just cook with the whole bay leaf, and then once your food is done, you can always take it out. Okay, so this is the consistency that I want after it's done cooking, which means that I would have to add just a little bit more water so that once it's done cooking and it's been sitting here for as many hours as it has to, because my lifestyle is crazy and I won't be eating it before, I don't know, midnight. I just have to add in a little extra moisture. I'm gonna add in some ginger slivers and some cilantro. I'm gonna check this for seasoning to see if it's salty enough. Actually, you know what? Nupur, you're a bomb. Yeah, I know that, right? Tell me about it. Okay, we have that. I'm gonna go ahead and add some more of my dry fenugreek herb or kasuri methi. At this point, a lot of Punjabis will add 2 packs of butter into their rajma. If you feel compelled to do that, you can. It really does give it a very, very rich taste. And usually the kind of rice that is served with rajma is the cumin rice or the jeera pulao, jeere wali chawal. I usually make cumin rice and I put in a few specks of frozen peas into that, and that's what does it for me. So this is ready to go. I am going to close this thing and I will put it on manual mode for about 7 minutes, and that should be all I need for my rajma. It'll be ready to go. That's done. I don't have to babysit my food. I can literally walk away and do other things with my time. Also, the reminder on my phone just went off. Remember that 2:30 meeting that I have? So I have to jump into that. But for everybody that joined me today, I really appreciate you guys. For all of those people that are on the weekly meal delivery, there is a big reveal coming for you. I have actually made it super easy for you to order my food because we are going to be on DoorDash. Yeah. So I don't have to drive for hours and you will still get your food. We'll be reaching a lot more people. It's going to be a very efficient system, and it's not going to be that, oh, you know, I'm going to make the food today and you're going to get it tomorrow. No, honey, I will make it the same day, and it's going to travel wherever it needs to travel, in New York, in Manhattan, in Queens, and it'll get to you. So that's the plan. That's the game. This is set to sealing mode so that the steam does not escape. I've set it in on manual mode for pressure cooking at 7 minutes. If you want to see more recipes on the Instant Pot, let me know. I'm happy to share the brand that I have. It's not an Instapot brand. My brand is called Magic Chef, and sometimes timings can vary, but I also teach classes where I show you basic recipes that you can make in the Instapot, tips and tricks of how you can stack up your food and make multiple dishes at the same time, and lots more. So there is a class for every level of skill in the kitchen, whether you're a beginner, you're an intermediate, or you are an advanced level super chef in your kitchen. There is a class for you. Do not forget to check out some of our ebooks, which are revolving around the Indian breads, rice dishes, street foods of India, Indo-Chinese, and desserts. So definitely check out all of the offerings of books and classes on the website. There's also spice blends that you can order to get Indian food in a New York minute in your home, wherever in the world you live. With that, I'm going to sign off. This is going to go off. I will try to do pictures of what it looks like once it comes out of the Instant Pot. I may also put it in my stories, but like always, I always see the same people coming to my Facebook Live. So thank you for your continued support. Please take a second to share this page and all of the value that I try to bring through my flavorful, easy Indian cooking. If it makes your life easy in any way, I would say that it's a job well done. So don't hesitate to share this page with your friends and family. If anybody wants to learn how to make these foods on a commercial scale, where you're trying to start your own business, or, you know, all these apps nowadays that you have where home chefs can sell their food, reach out to me and let me help you to set up everything in a really, really nice way. Most of all, starting with how to develop tasteful recipes that you can also share and or sell to your community, to your neighborhood, whatever the case may be. Okay, until tomorrow, hopefully I will be doing another video tomorrow. I will see you. Be blissful and flavorful. Goodbye and namaste. Bye.